In the studio today is Canadian recording artist Anna Cyzon. Hello, I'm Shannon Skinner, and this is Extraordinary Women TV. Now, before you meet Anna, just to let you know, later in the interview, before we take a break, I'll have my regular Good to Know Minute when I ask my guests for their top success tip, and you'll hear Anna's. Well, Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, so nice having you here. Now, you're Canadian, born in Poland. You came over with your family at a young age. How old were you when you came over to Canada?
I was 6.
Right. Now, you had the opportunity to be on Canadian Idol, and this really set you on your path, your career path. I mean, today you're a recording artist. You've, of course, hosted a television with eTalk and MTV. That all started with Canadian Idol. So let's talk about what that experience was like for you.
It was a very nerve-wracking experience. I think anytime you put yourself on a platform where you're like susceptible to be, you know, ridiculed or criticized or judged, it's definitely like you have to have a thick skin for that. And I think at the time I was very fresh, I was very new, and I was very scared. But it was an amazing experience in the sense that I learned a lot. I met a lot of people. I jokingly had poked Ben Mulroney saying, if you ever need a co-host on eTalk. And next thing you know, I was called in to be an Idol correspondent on eTalk Daily after I'd been let go of Idol. I made it to like top 20 something. Not far enough to make the top 10, but so I had the stint with eTalk, and then as the Idol correspondent, and then they called me back into the studio, and then before you know it, I was full-time hosting, and then MTV Canada came back under the wing of Bradley Schwartz, who I had already met on an assignment with eTalk, and he said to me, you know, well, here's an opportunity for you to host your own show. So Canadian Idol was like, it opened the doors to this whole other universe for me. That was this crazy chapter in my life. It was quite a ride.
So were you, I mean, you were young at the time. I mean, were you experiencing sheer terror, or was it just exciting and fun and like, I just want to go for it?
I think Idol, I was scared because, again, I didn't have as much confidence, and I wasn't as comfortable maybe in my own skin as I am now. But I was definitely excited, and I was very happy to have that opportunity, knowing what the power of media entails and being able to stand in front of a camera and reach an audience. Like I had that awareness at that time, so I think I was very excited, and I knew that there would be really great things coming after it, and that I just had to do the work as an artist and as a young woman becoming a woman. To have a voice and to share something and to stand behind something that I could be proud of and like share with people. Because when I went on Idol, I didn't have that. I was just singing other people's songs. It was just about that time where I tapped into this this realm where I was like, I have to say something. I have to communicate something to people. I can't just be a pretty face singing songs or have songs handed to me, because that's generally how this business works. And especially for a woman in music, it's very easy to be manipulated and to sort of fit into what the format is in radio and music video, and I feel that there's a big part of me that's always gone against that, because I wanted to stay true to myself and also like have that authenticity connect with people in a way maybe that, you know, a lot of today's artists don't do.
So, well, you have a new EP out.
I do, yes.
So let's talk about what's your music, what is your new EP? Not a CD, but maybe you could explain to us what an EP is.
Right. I'm even confused about the whole thing, to be honest. I think an EP is just short of a record, and in my case, we have 7 songs, well, 6, and Into the Sun being a bonus song, because when we got into the studio last summer, we started writing a batch of songs, and the second one that we had actually written was Into the Sun, which was a little bit more rock and heavier than the rest of the EP, which is a bit more pop and light. But we had applied for a Video Fact to shoot a video, and we got granted this money from the Canadian government. Thank you so much. And we had a chance to shoot this video, so I thought, well, if we're gonna have a video, and that's going to be an investment of people's time and money, then we might as well have that song attached to the EP. So it ended up being a 7-song project, with Into the Sun being, like I said, a bit heavier and more on the rock side. But I feel it's just who I am as an artist. There's this kind of darker, heavier rock, and then there's this very innocent, vulnerable, fun pop thing happening. So it's sort of like a combination of those two worlds and a balance in between.
And your video that you shot with Into the Sun is a little bit, it's not your average music video.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about this video that has people talking.
Well, for me, it was a rebirth and a shedding of the past, and moving away from negativity and dependence, be that on people or things in your life, and going to a place that's light and that's positive, and being also strong enough to stand on your own, which is why the video is just me with a gun. It's me with a knife. It's me swimming in blood. It's not really relying on anybody for your happiness, and being really strong and standing alone, and then building from that foundation of what is just you, yourself.
So now I know that you had the opportunity to work with Gene Simmons from KISS. Okay, I have to know, what was that like?
It was a crazy experience. Gene is a very smart man. I shot a video a few years back, also with Davin, who directed Into the Sun, Davin Black, and Gene had seen a snippet of it, and he flew me down to LA literally within like 48 hours, and it brought me into his home and shed some very sort of eye-opening advice with respect to my role as a woman in the industry and the workings of the inner machine. And I think that had I been ready to enter that machine at that point in my life, I would have probably not be sitting here today. I would not be sitting here today with you, but I can't say I have any regrets. I think I learned a lot from Gene. I think he gave me a lot of really great advice. I just think that creatively, we weren't the best match. And again, at the time in my life, I wasn't ready to make that huge of a commitment to what was being required of me to make. And so I decided to sort of go my own way, if you will.
Wow, so you struck it out on your own as an independent indie music artist.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists now that are more and more going the independent route. Some of them are successful, some of them maybe not as much. What is your opinion, or of the indie artist world for musicians?
I think it's very tough, mostly because you're not making the kind of money that you could be making if you were signed with a label and had the budgets and the support and the backing of a major. So I think secretly, deep down inside, every indie artist yearns for that, the partnership with a giant. But it's so important to find the right thing to fall into, because like anything in life, that is, whether that be for myself a label or management or anyone that I partner up with creatively and on the business end, it has to be like a marriage. It has to work, and there has to be chemistry, and there has to be the right kind of compromise, because every relationship you will have to give something, and then you hopefully receive back what you want in return. So for me, I've had a lot of sort of roundabouts with labels, and I'm still in the process of discussing and negotiating with labels today. But I think that in that process, I'm also becoming a better artist, and I'm growing, and I'm becoming stronger, and eventually when I do decide to go to bed with, be that a major label or just a distributor or whatever, wherever I land, it'll be exactly the thing that I need at the time that is right for me on my terms. And I think, so as an indie artist, you give up sort of maybe the exposure and the promotion and all the really big stuff that comes with having the majors behind you and the budgets, but you also gain a lot of control of your art, and you get to call the shots on what you want to do and how you want to do it, and with who you want to work with. And to me, that's always been very important, to make music with people that you connect with. And I mean, you can connect with anybody, you have to be open to that, but there also has to be this other element of, you know, music is like, it's magic. You can't really touch it. So it's something that you feel, and I want to have, I think, the decision-making power and ability to be able to work with who I want to work with, because then I know it will be real, and that music hopefully will then translate, you know, to masses. And the only thing that I lack is the push, whether that be radio or TV or media, but hey, I'm getting stuff on my own, so.
Well, it's great that you just decided to do it and empowered yourself to make it happen. Do you write from a place of pain or a place of pleasure as an artist?
That's a very good question, and I think the line is very, there's not a big difference between the two for me. I think it's a place of passion, and whether that passion is, you know, the most intoxicating of romantic feelings, or it's the pendulum swings the other way and it's a very dark emotion. I think it has to come from a place that is, that makes you want to do something about it. And that can be a place of either or. And I think, like I said, there's a very fine line between the two.
If there's one thing that you want your music to do for people, or for people to take away from your music, what would that be?
I would love for people to feel good walking away from either seeing a video or hearing a song. And I think that their feeling of good would come from being able to relate to it. So if there's something that I do or say, or the way I sing something that either inspires them or gives them comfort in something that they've experienced, and they can connect to that and feel better about it because somebody else has gone through it and understands it, or maybe it just inspires them to change something in their life, or strive to be better in a way, then I think that is why I do music. Like every now and then I'll have a Facebook or a tweet or something from someone, and they'll say something about a lyric affecting them or something resonating with them, and I feel that that is enough ammunition for me. Whether I'm making money or I'm selling millions of records, it's enough for me to get out of bed and continue to do what I do, because I impact someone in a positive way.
And so where can people find your albums?
They can find my first independently released record on iTunes, and now from this EP, you could get the first single on iTunes as well. The rest of the EP should be out soon. I don't have a date yet for it, but I'm sure it will be out by the summertime.
And so for people, they can find out more information about at your website as well,
yes.
AnnaCyzon.com.
All of that stuff is there, AnnaCyzon.com, and then you can check out the YouTubes at Anna Cyzon TV and my Twitter at Anna Cyzon.
Now, Anna, we're just going to take a break, and that means it's my Good to Know Minute, and I know you've got a great success tip.
I would say don't let anybody steer you off of your path. Keep doing what you are doing and stay focused on where you want to go.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I have really enjoyed this getting to know you and hearing more about your music, and love speaking with artists. So I wish you all the best with your EP and all that you do going forward.
Thank you so much, and it's a real honor to be here and be part of Extraordinary Women, because that is very close to home.
Thank you. Of course, for more information about Anna Cyzon, you can visit her website at AnnaCyzon.com. More information about the show, past guests, upcoming guests, and contact me. I'd encourage you to visit the website at extraordinarywomentv.com. If you are interested in transforming your life, I hope these stories have inspired you. You've been watching Extraordinary Women TV. I'm Shannon Skinner. See you soon.